Alright, so well, I guess this is Friday, November 27th, and I'm not saying goodbye to YouTube. I'm I'm gonna take a break though. When I set out on this, there were so many people who were in the professional organizations of both forms of media study, media ecology, people who were in the National Communication Association, who really told me to avoid YouTube and suggested that this is not a place where serious reasoned discussion happens, and that this is a parade and it's the wild wild west and it's a bunch of in-your-face attitude rather than any serious engagement. And I disagreed with them, and I said, no, I don't think that that's true. I think there really is some substantial, meaningful engagement. And I think from my experience, I definitely would maintain some of my position. I mean, I think the amount of unreasonable ego, the friction and heat with very little light, the parading of attitude, I guess I think it's a widespread fear of irrelevance. So many people are utterly fearful of irrelevance, and so they're wearing their attitudes, their beliefs, their opinions, their religious affiliations or political party affiliations as if those beliefs are crucial to their identity. I mean, it looks like an odd playground of people with attitude and such, but I really think it's endless, desperate cries of people concerned about their identity in the most fundamental sense. Some of it looks like vanity, and it is, but vanity itself, I think, is a disguised bid for meaning. At any rate, I guess I imagined a possibility of re-enlivening book culture, and I still am interested. If people want to, for the people who don't like my channel and people who despise me, I don't even know why you're watching this video. But if you are, I'm not going to go away that easily. I certainly still will be around. I'm very likely to be on much less frequently. I'm going to be shooting some videos still. Um, but to the people who like my videos, please, boosters, go, I'm going to be maybe circulating some of the videos around and changing the orders, and check out the playlists. I'm going to try to organize those for a little bit, spend some quality time figuring out how all this stuff could be compiled and what's to be taken down and what's to be left and all that sort of stuff. I think I would say too, this is the reason I'm staying and going to stay on YouTube is because I've met so many wonderful people. I've met so many cool and interesting people, and not only by way of those who've given video responses, but back channel comments, people who've been supportive, engaging, critical in productive ways and in directive ways. To me, a directive way is to say, no, here's where I disagree, and here would be further reading, or here is the further argument spelled out clearly as to why. I've certainly changed, I think, some of my opinions as a result of YouTube, and not just about the possibility of dialogue on new media, although that's certainly part of what my view has been tempered. I give it that. The issue of why, I don't know, why, I think some people, they look at my videos and they'll say, "Damn, dude, you're so serious," and it's funny. Okay, I am. You can be funny. Funny's good. I like funny. I think there's so much funny. If people know Neil Postman's work, he has a book called Amusing Ourselves to Death. I think that's part of the problem. It's not, can you be funny? Sure, let's be funny. Does everything have to be funny? Is that the sole criteria, amusement and entertainment? I think the other fear that people who spend a lot of time on YouTube ought to really be having is their consciousness itself becoming like a little hummingbird's attention span. There was I don't know if it was a show or some short attention span theater. I think there is a legitimate concern that the span of attention is being affected by people who spend too many time watching 2 and 3 minute videos that are overpacked with all kinds of visual stimulation in 80 million ways. It's, I would guess, would be my guess is it's radically affecting their experience of time. You're, it's like a drug that is going to slowly, you're going to become addicted to high potent little tiny interactions, and everyday mundane life just isn't going to move at enough of a speed for you. It's going to be like hanging around watching the plants grow, which I think if you don't know how to do that, to me this is a really serious concern. People say, "Oh, who cares? I want to be a cyborg." Well, go be a cyborg. Don't let me oppose my opinions on you. I think that's the other thing that's funny. The number of people on the YouTubes, as people say, on the tubes, who say, "Oh, you're imposing your views on me and this stuff." This is just the stupidest. Look, man, don't watch the videos. I really, some of it is almost absurd. It's really funny. I think people, it's kind of like, they can't see, I guess, when you're in the throes of it, when you're all caught up in it, how ridiculous airing of opinions is. Well, I think this, well, I think that, oh yeah, my belief is this, da, 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 don't impose your beliefs on me. I mean, all this kind of stuff. Imagine an alien coming down and watching that little parade of identity politics as people, and they're getting all riled over whether there is or isn't a God, is or isn't an afterlife. That some of those afterlife videos that I did, I think they were really funny, because I do think that scientific materialism has led to some kind of belief in now a either life immortal by way, a personal afterlife that's immortal by way of, I don't know, some kind of technology, or I guess some sort of scientific materialist one, that you don't need God. Cut out the middleman. Let's just say that you yourself are God and you are life eternal and all this kind of stuff. The atheist who wants to reject the idea of life eternal but wants to be eternal. I mean, some of this, I'm sorry. You can sit around, and I think many people do, they like to give a pseudo-intellectual, a parade of open-mindedness. And they want to go, look, I'm open-minded. It could be possible. Well, yes, it could be possible. Yes, I think we all want to agree that it's possible. But I think we also want to admit that it could be also a delusion. It could be a delusion that's helping alleviate the weight and the guilt that people feel for having failed themselves, for having failed to love one another,